What's up, Wrong Strong family? We're back. Today we got an interesting one. Why do most drug dealers, kingpins, and even their workers pray to La Santa Muerte? If you guys are not familiar with her, it's the Lady of Death. She is one of the fastest growing religions in Mexico right now, with up to 10 to 12 million followers. Who is she? When I first came across her, I'm not gonna lie, it's a little scary, it's a little intimidating, but where did it all start? JC, Wrong and Strong, you haven't subscribed to my channel, make sure you subscribe, hit that like button, and drop a comment. Tell me what you think. Alright, let's get into this. What's up, JC? I like saying that. As much as I try to be serious, I can't. It's my personality. This is how I am. This is what you get. 100% JC. So, you know, in the series Breaking Bad, they show a part where two of the Juarez Cartel hitmen actually pray to her before they go, you know, take care of some business. You know, there's a lot of misconceptions about this religion. One, a lot of people think it represents, like, you know, people think that's just like drug dealers and like poor people that pray to her, and it's far from that. It's actually a religion that they say that the roots start from like Spanish Catholicism, with Aztec like worship, like way back, like it goes way back. You know, they used to call her the queen of the underworld, or they do call her that. The reason why I actually started looking into it was because when I did time, I had a roommate that was with the cartel, and he was looking at a lot of time, and he was constantly praying to her. And you know, he had made a little statue out of soap. He had like carved it, everything, and had, you know, made it out of soap, and it was pretty badass. I mean, she was it's a little intimidating because of how she looks, what she has in her hand, and you know, at one time, when I was getting ready to get sentenced, like I started thinking, you know, maybe I should pray to her, because, you know, my cellmate actually ended up getting the 10 years instead of the 19 that they were trying to give him. And I was like, man, maybe this does work. Maybe if I pray to her, maybe, you know, this will go. And this is before, like, I wasn't really into religion too much. I mean, I knew, no, I shouldn't say that. I knew about religion. I was actually an altar boy as a kid at a Catholic church in Mexico, where my family's from, in Guanajuato. And, you know, I was there all the time when Mass was there and all that stuff, but I really never prayed. I really never got on my knees. I really didn't ask for change until I was in prison in Mexico. That's when I really like started like wanting to pray and wanting to change, and it was because of my drug addiction. Then when I went to the feds, I wanted to know more about religion, and, you know, everything I had seen throughout the years. You know, I wanted to know about, you know, so I studied the Quran, I studied the Bible. I actually got a certificate. I got an associate's in religion. And I started looking into, you know, Santa Muerte, like, what was it? Because if you glance at it, you actually think it's something bad just because of how she looks. But like I said, I mean, this dates back to like Aztec times, where, you know, pretty much if you're Mexican, those are your roots. You come somewhat from that. Yes, we were conquered by Spaniards and all this stuff, and yeah, but there's still a lot of like history that we have, you know, in the past. And like I said, my cellie would constantly pray to her, and he would always tell me, you in order for you to ask for a favor, you have to pray consistently, act with gratitude, and present an offering. And the offerings would be from fruit, cigars, incense, alcohol, anything in exchange for your request. But there's also a thing that they said that, like, it could be like a double-edged sword. A lot of people believe that cutting the deal with her is a double-edged sword, because if you don't make good with your promise for that favor she's granting you, she will take a loved one. It's pretty intense. It's, I get it how, how people can think, since it's not in the church, because the Catholic Church has not approved, and I don't think they will, just because of the misconception of everything. Because before 2001, a lot of the people that were devoted to her would pray in private. It was like kept in closets or in their private spaces, and it was like really, really kept private. Now it's like one of the most fastest growing, religions out there. I think I said it was like 10 to 12 million, followers. But I think because it's not part of the church, many followers feel like it's okay to ask for like protection for, shipments of drugs to get to where they need to get, or sentencing and stuff like that. But it all comes down to, there's always going to be misconceptions of everything. I mean, you name it. The misconception about that it represents people that are just drug dealers or poor people that pray to her. Like, there's a lot of people that, I did my research, that pray to her that are not drug dealers, that are not cartel members, and that are not, poor. Like, and that's the thing, is that we live in a time where if you really want to know something, you could do the research. You could find out. I always tell my clients, my friends, and everything, that if I would have lived in this time back in the day, who knows where I would have been at. I mean, YouTube, social media, just the information is crazy out there. So, if you have the time and you want to find out more about her, I mean, look it up. There's pictures, there's all these things. But like I said, I was gonna pray to her at one time, and I got really, really scared, just because I guess I feel somewhat scared to pray to the wrong person. I was already bad as it was, so why make it even worse? So, but like I said, my soulmate ended up getting less time, and then that's what made me think about it. But if you look at any of the pictures, I mean, she is pretty intimidating. I mean, it looks pretty crazy. And if you're trying to cut a deal with her and you're offering her stuff, I mean, you better come through, man. It's one of those things that you better keep your word, because if not, I don't want to wake up in the middle of the night and see her in front of my bed, because I have nightmares as it is. So that was just a brief kind of like understanding of her real quick. Obviously there's more information out there. I just wanted to touch on it because a lot of people in prison pray to her. A lot of people, and I seen it, so it's actually part of the prison story, because a lot of people pray to her in prison, and they'll sit there while you're sitting, waiting for sentencing, and pray to her, give them her food, their food. They won't eat. They give her food, and they're asking, for that request. And it was seen a lot in the federal system with a lot of the paisas that were in there. So that's why it's part of my my channel. I had to talk about her because obviously it's one of my stories. And like I said, guys, My channel is not to glorify nothing that I did in the past, nothing that I'm doing now. I am wrong too strong. I am wrong too strong. I've made bad choices in my life. I've made really stupid decisions, and my main goal is to get my story out there, share it with you guys, so that way you guys could not do the stupid shit that I did. That's all it is. I always tell people, don't judge nobody, give somebody a hug, and stay in your lane. Stay in your lane means just do you. It's not your job to change nobody. It's not your job to criticize somebody because of their religion or who they're praying to or what they're doing. Do you. Take care of you. If you're not progressing, guess what? You're standing still. So, my name is JC. I am Wrong to Strong. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, please subscribe. Hit the like button. Ask me some questions. What you guys want me to talk about. There's a million things I could talk about. There's a million stories I got, from prison in Mexico to the feds to state prison to Chicago to all sorts of things. So, it is what it is, guys. I love you guys. Stay wrong and strong, and remember, it's a lifestyle. It's not a fucking quick change. Shit! Almost forgot. So, I got a couple of my close, my boys that are doing pretty much life sentences, and one of my main dudes, Peanut, he is in Menard. I think he's in Pontiac right now, but they're about to ship him to Menard in Illinois. He's doing some time. He ain't coming home no time soon. And he sends me prison art. It's all made by hand with pen. Yeah, it's badass. Corazon. Yep. If you guys want to get a hold of him, send him a letter, maybe get some art from him. He's sitting in the hole right now for a year, so he's got nothing but time. You could drop him a letter, send me a DM. I'll give you his information, or I'll put it out there. Whatever, just get at me. My biggest thing, man, is that I live my life to the fullest for these guys that are never coming home, and trying to change the minds of the ones that are out here so they don't end up in that situation, because I was very, very close to ending up in there forever and not coming ever home. I spent 17 years in and out of prison with my drug addiction, my PTSD, my depression, you name it. You name it. And to the day that I decided that I didn't want to be a victim no more, and I wanted to change, and I wanted to get out of my gang, and I wanted to be somebody, is when everything started to change in my life. Look at me now. I'm fucking... Hey, I ain't rich, but pretty fucking happy. So, it is what it is. Alright?